It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family, and welcome to another episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I'm looking forward to our time together. As always, I say it every single episode we have because I mean it. So, we are now in the second month of this year. Oh, by the way, for our family members who are into numerology, I pray that February 2nd was everything you hoped it would be. And I imagine there's anticipation for February 22nd as well. I'll check back with you after the 22nd. So we're also in our celebration of Black History Month. I always love, love, love to say that because I love to celebrate Black History Month. But, I was thinking of doing something different. I want to start a new tradition, and I'm interested in knowing what you do to celebrate Black History Month. I really, I'm just looking, for change, just to do something different. Something, I don't know, something maybe I'll add to the traditions that I already have. But in any event, because I would like to start something new, I'm relying on you. I'm asking for your help. And you can send me an email. You can tell me via email. You can do so by emailing me at loveandlife@wurdradio.com. Um, I'm I'm so anxious to see what you guys are doing and to know what you guys are doing. Hopefully, it'll be something good that I won't mind adding to my own routine. So, I would be remiss if I did not send some love, light, and positivity to you all, as I always do when we begin our episodes, because I think it's important and it's also necessary, that we share good energy. And I'd like to say a special hello and thank you for tuning into our family members on our socials. We recognize you too. So tonight, we are focusing on health and wellness. And I couldn't be more anxious and more happy than I already am to discuss this topic. Now, when I say the topic, you're going to say, you're happy to talk about it? Well, yes, I am. I am happy to talk about it because I think it's necessary. And I think it's a necessary conversation. And I just want us to share. That's what we do here on Love and Life. We talk about everything, every single thing. So, our guest tonight is none other than Cheryl Tyler, who is a colon hydrotherapist and the owner of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. Uh, I think you all need to become familiar if you already are not. Well, she's here to talk with us about colon hydrotherapy, or as a lot of us refer to it as having a colonic. I know, see, I told you, I can imagine the faces that you are making right now, but in any event, help me welcome Cheryl Tyler into the room.
Hello.
Hello there,
Hi
beautiful.
there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for obliging and
Mhm.
accommodating. I want to let our family members know that I was so excited when I talked to Cheryl. I said I just have to have you on the show because I think it's a conversation that a lot of people don't have, and for the ones that do have it, they typically dance around it because not everybody wants to talk about cleaning your colon. So I just want to say thank you for for coming to talk with us and educating, because that's what I'm considering this conversation, an education. so so thank you for
Absolutely.
being here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, listen, you already know when I was in there, I said I just have to. I just so listen.
Exactly.
While I calm myself down because I'm on 10, would you please tell our family members a little about yourself?
Okay, yes, thank you so much for asking. So, My name, of course, is Cheryl Tyler, and I am owner of Infinity Health and Wellness Center here in Philadelphia. And we've been here for about 14 years now. Started off, with the very bare minimum, and now we have quite a bit going on over there. And we're right here on Scotts Lane, right near where Ridge Avenue intersects Allegheny. So fairly central location here in Philadelphia. And I've been in this business of health and wellness, and particularly cleansing of the colon and digestive health for about 25 years now. I've done other things in my lifetime as well. I've worked in corporate America for about 17 years, and I was in the military for about 9 years as well. So I kind of know the gamut of our lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've raised children. I have two grown children, and I have a granddaughter. I've been married, once upon a time in my life. I'm currently single. And my point is, I kind of know people's lifestyles, whether you have children and the dedication to that. Um, if you're a business owner and all the time and effort it puts in there,
Sure.
working two jobs, in the military, and a dedication. My point of saying all that is that lifestyles is a big, big dictator of our health. It's also a big dictator of how we handle and how we prioritize our health. People don't really realize it until they stop. I think COVID helped them to see how they truly was not prioritizing their health because they weren't slowing down. They are very much in the business of family, in the business
Mm-hmm.
of their children. Their children comes first. Their whole lifestyle dictates around their children. And you can tell that as a business owner in the waves of when a person takes care of themselves. Is
Mm.
usually not the time that they typically don't take care of themselves at the times when their children are going back to school or are staying home on a break or it's summertime. It's only certain times of the year that people truly devote themselves to a gym routine or a health
Mm-hmm.
and wellness routine, or if they're in school and college, things like that. There's our lifestyles, unfortunately, aren't necessarily prioritizing our health and wellness and longevity.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Everything you just shared. I'm interested. You say you worked in corporate America. You
Hmm.
raised a family.
Hmm.
There's a lot of life that you just shared with us. What
Hmm.
prompted you to start a life of wellness or serving? In the arena of service with regard to wellness.
Um, it's two things mainly. Um, got tired of seeing my own family members pass away,
Mhm.
at young ages. And I mean young, like in their 50s. Retired at 60 and now they dead at 62. The men the men never making it past 55 maybe. Um and it was lifestyle choices, you know, um, heart issues, cancers, things of that, just because of lifestyles. And our genetics only takes us but so far.
Sure.
And so then the second thing is, I had my own digestive issues. A lot of people come from the arena of perhaps being overweight to some capacity. I never had that issue, but I've always had, digestive issues. I could be in the gym, especially in the military, you're working out all the time. And even in corporate America and raising children, always had a capacity to exercise, but I always had this gut issue. And I've always had an issue of feeling like I want to throw up every time I eat some bread or something that just wasn't conducive to a healthy digestive system. And, got tired of that. And I would ask personal trainers about, I was like, what can I do to help? And I didn't know where to go, and then finally stumbled across, and before the internet and all that, I stumbled across the cleansing of the colon. And then, and, even at a young age, I was never afraid to give myself enemas. I don't know why people are so afraid of their butthole, but I was never afraid to give myself enemas well before I even discovered colonics. And our family members. I remember my grandmother used to have one in her bathroom hanging on this rubber. I think they used to use it
Mm-hmm.
for douches and enemas, different tips. So our grandparents got away from uh, self care, and they got it. It became, I think, in the 60s and 70s, pharmaceuticals became more popular, especially over the counter pharmaceuticals. So those are the two reasons that I believe I got into self care and healthcare, and particularly colon hydrotherapy and nutrition as a lifestyle.
I'm glad you said that too, because I was going to ask you to tell us specifically what kind of services Infinity Health and Wellness Center provides.
hmm Specifically and primarily, we clean colons. Um, we have enough space and enough rooms to get as many people in that want to come in, and we
Mhm.
stay available. We're here 7 days a week. I'm there 7 days a week. And then we make sure that we keep the price reasonable. It's been the same since day one, $55 for a 45-minute session. So we have resisted the increases in pricing that most businesses have had to endure. Um, we also stayed open the entire pandemic. So primarily we clean colons in order to help people be healthier and to avoid pharmaceuticals,
Mhm.
such as such as, okay, I'm sorry, am I still there? Okay, such as laxatives, etc. We also, in an auxiliary or ancillary way, offer other services such as infrared sauna, okay, because that's another form of detoxification.
Please explain what is.
The infrared sauna, okay,
Yes.
so there are certain ways that our bodies detox. One is through breathing, of course, through the air, letting out that toxic waste from our lungs.
Mm-hmm.
The other is crying, and the other is sweating. The other form of detoxification is defecation and urination, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's some detoxification through our skin as well. When we get a massage, there's also a form of detoxification because of the lymphatic system.
Okay.
Is pressure is applied to the lymphatic system, but mainly the infrared sauna they would call it a dry sauna. In other words, you go to a sauna at the gym, it's sweaty because there's steam.
Okay.
Okay, but the infrared sauna is a technology that the heat goes, it just heats up your body. It doesn't heat up the entire room. The heat gets into your skin about 2.5 inches deep. So it's pulling toxins out of your body through your skin and through your breathing at the same time. I call it the inferno
Oh my
because you
goodness.
sit in there and you sweat like crazy. Don't worry about your hair, none of that. You just going to sweat. Now the major benefits of infrared sauna that people don't realize is just one major benefit that you wouldn't even know. It actually is proven scientifically to help you to reduce the chances of dementia and Alzheimer's.
Really?
Right. But it's proven scientific. It's got medical research and everything on it. But primarily, the reason why most people get into the infrared sauna is to burn calories because it equates to about running about 5 miles. It
Okay.
burns up about 300 to 400 calories.
I have never heard of this. So
hmm
how, okay, I do have a few questions.
hmm
So, well, a couple. So no, I would
Uh-huh.
like to know first, what is the process when you book a session to have to come in for infrared sauna? What's the process? How does that?
Okay. So you simply schedule an appointment, and again, we keep that price minimum too. It's 45 minutes, just like the colonic, and it's
Okay.
$55. When you come in, you'll be in the room. So you can go in there with one other person, but it's a tent. and you get completely undressed, like totally naked. We provide for you a one-time use only sauna suit, like a little sweat sauna thingy. You zip up in the front like a onesie.
Okay.
The one-time use only. And take it out the package. You put that thing on, zip it up. Some people call it a body wrap. And then you just be seated in the sauna and you zip the sauna up and you simply sit and do nothing. You can listen to your phone, watch a movie on your phone or your iPad or something like that, and just sit and relax. And while you're sitting in there, you're heated up. Your body heats up. It's
Right.
not like a blow dryer, like air, hot air blowing at you. It's just that your body begins to heat up. And so you're sitting there thinking, okay, everything's cool. Then you start sweating, like, whoa, you're hot as heck. And then when you're done sitting there, when your session's over and you unzip that onesie, it's just full of sweat, hot sweat too. It's full of sweat. So you unzip it and you just toss it in the trash and you dry yourself off, with the towels that's provided,
Okay.
and you get dressed and go about your day. Now you can breathe very well because your head is exposed. Your head is not in the heat itself.
Ah. Okay.
But that still doesn't spare your beautiful hair, girl. It's still going to sweat.
I'm sure. So
And let me tell you, I got one at home. I sit in at home after my workout on a daily basis.
real
Yep,
okay, so
that's
now
how serious I am about it. It
how
keeps the it keeps the especially as females,
mhm.
the infrared sauna keeps the cellulite down. Because you can work out and work out and work out, and that's very helpful. But the infrared sauna really, really helps with that too.
So how often should you have an infrared sauna session? Or would you suggest?
Okay,
How often would you
it
suggest?
it depends. Okay, so I would suggest for a person with a chronic illness,
Mhm.
like diabetes or
Okay.
high blood pressure. People think, oh, because I have high blood pressure, I can't sit in there. First of all, I always like to preface: speak with your healthcare provider before doing much of anything.
Mhm.
But with that
Mhm.
said, people have chronic issues, cancers, the Lyme's disease,
Mm.
have people MS, all these different issues. See, if it was me, if I had all the, or for me, put it this way, to avoid those issues as well. But if you have those issues, you want to sit in a sauna more often than someone who's healthy and they just want to maintain.
Okay.
So they might sit in a sauna two, three times a day. If you got,
O
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? You got an issue, you might sit in it 2 or 3 times a day for a month or two. You know,
Mm.
that might be your thing.
For a 45
Uh,
minute session, like for about
okay, because well, or they might make it only 10 minutes or 20 minutes or thirty
okay.
minutes.
Okay.
Um, I've seen a person who was on chemo sit in the infrared sauna, and their sweat was blue.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? So like I say, everybody's condition is different. So I've had, and even going back to the colonics, someone might say, well, how many colonics should a person do? How many times?
I was going to
I've
ask
had
you that.
cancer patients. Yeah, I've had cancer patients colonic 3 times a week for 2.5 years straight. So someone will say,
Really?
"Ooh, that's doing too much." But this particular client, who was a cancer patient, she had cancer of the damn near everything. It was in the brain. It was
Mm,
everywhere, practically everywhere except the colon. But they were going to operate on the colon because the colon was twisted. It was in some sort of knot, some sort of
mm.
issues there. Listen, that's the one operation they didn't have to give her because she kept coming into colonic, and it loosened her. It unbound her colon to a point where they did not have to cut her colon open.
Are you serious?
Yep. They also said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's helping. This was right around the time when President Obama had approved stem cell
Mm,
research. Because before Obama, George Bush had not approved it.
okay.
So George Bush Jr. And so when that came around, she was getting stem cell as part of her wellness protocol,
Okay.
chemo as well. And so she was during her colon cleansing 3 times a week. She lived an hour away. Her fiance would drive her in every time.
Mm.
Yeah, and she took some of our colon cleansing products also. And she kept doing this as a way of getting rid of the toxic waste that was being caused by the medications. You understand?
Yes.
So this was one of her forms of detoxification
I want to
and one
ask
of
you.
her forms of
Oh, I'm
natural wealth.
so
That's
sorry.
okay.
I want to ask
Mhm.
you about some of the products you have too. But family, if you have just tuned in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're talking with Cheryl Tyler of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food History and Culture, every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome. Welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. So before the break, we were talking with our guest this evening, none other than the one and only Cheryl Tyler of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. Who's obliging us by providing some important information. And she was sharing with us about a client that was suffering with cancer, the cancer that had spread, if I have it correctly,
Exactly.
who was coming in for to have colonics or colon hydrotherapy. And you were explaining how beneficial it was to her that, quite honestly, you said the physicians wanted to operate prior to her coming in regularly to have colonics.
Correct. She had a determination, Not many people would have put in the money that she put in and the time that she put in to cleanse her colon that often. Again, 3 times a week for 2.5 years, and she and her husband lived an hour away, so that's a 2-hour drive, and probably suffering from budgetary issues like everyone else.
Sure.
And but she was just determined, and she's one of those people. There's people out there who actually live with cancer. In other words, it never quite gets cured, but they don't die because they're able to manage it. There's some out there like that. And she's one of them. She's still here. She's still around, and that's been several years. But I look at that particular case as a strong example of what consistency can do. And then that dedication, like I said, she was dedicated to using colon hydrotherapy as part of her
like treatment.
natural form of treatment and therapy.
I applaud her, actually. I appreciate hearing her story. The one thing I would like for you to help us with, there are some of our family members who are unaware of what colon hydrotherapy is. What exactly is a colonic? What happens when you get a colonic?
Sure enough. So we simply use water. Typically it's purified water, and typically it's just water. And it runs just through the colon. The colon actually is the last 5 to 6 feet of the entire digestive system. Okay, it's where all the poop sits before you have a bowel movement. Most people think that their poop is one and done, but there's usually food particles in their colon, consistently throughout the day. It's just not ready to come out when they expect it to come out. So every time we eat something, it has to be processed in our bodies in order to receive the nutrition. Once the small intestines absorbs the nutrition into the bloodstream, then those food particles, that food, let's call it food, has to go somewhere. So once it gets past the small intestines, it gets into the large intestines, which is the large intestines is known as the colon. So once what you eat finally gets to the large intestines, it becomes fairly toxic waste. I mean, there's some nutritional value still in fecal matter once it hits the larger, the colon, but for the most part, it's just waste at that point.
So
now, unfortunately, that waste sits there for entirely too long in your body.
So okay, so there was one thing, well, a few
hmm
things. The small
hmm
intestine is not considered your colon. Is that correct? It's
Correct.
just the large intestine. So
Correct.
so oh my goodness. Is it
hmm
another question. Is it ever possible to completely clean your colon?
Yes, it sure is. It sure is. One way that some people clean their colon is through fasting. I mean, like,
Ah,
like you hear people fasting on nothing but water for like 10 days or 20 days or
sure.
um and or they might do just a juice fast. You also have people taking laxatives, or you also have people taking colon cleansers such as herbal colon cleansers. You
S-
have people doing saltwater cleanses. They do there's all sorts of especially the herbal cleanses.
Okay.
They'll use like smooth move tea,
Oh,
cascara is
yes.
popular. Yeah, cascara. Let me see, senna. There's so many different herbs that people use to kind of quote unquote clean their colons.
How do you
But
know when
fasting is
Oh, I'm
one way to
sorry.
clean it.
I'm
No,
so
that's a fasting, just simple fasting is one way to do it. Like not eating.
so how do you know when your colon is completely clean? Or is there a way to know?
Um, the only way that okay, this is my opinion
Okay.
only. Okay, you've heard of colonoscopies?
Yes.
Okay, so the colonoscopy, that's when an actual physician um, will examine the colon, but in order for him to do so, you have to clear your colon. So typically, people get these colonoscopies done like after 50
Mhm.
or younger than that if they have some issues or some other conditions. So in order to get in order for the doctor to view the colon with the scope that he puts into your colon, you have to empty that colon. So that entire colon has to be empty.
Mhm.
So they'll give the person, the patient, a solution. And when
Mhm.
they drink that solution and they're directed to not eat solid foods for like a day or so, and
Okay.
they drink that solution keeps them on the toilet for the most part throughout the entire day, maybe 2 days, which is why they typically take off from work
Mhm.
in order to prep for a colonoscopy. So to answer your question, that's the one time that I do know that we do know for sure
Okay.
that a person's colon is clear, 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 because they've taken that solution and then the doctor's gone that next day and examined their colon. All is great. And they go about their day. When they get out of there, they go eat something.
Yeah.
And they put something right back into that colon.
That makes
So that's one way we know for sure that the colon is completely clean. Now, the other important question in addition to that, do we need the colon to be 100% clean? Not necessarily.
Okay.
What we need is for the foods that we eat to fully um take the journey
Hmm.
from what we eat to outside of our body. So
Okay.
don't let me eat something and then it's still there a month from now,
Mm. Mm.
or it's still there a year from now, or it's still there 10 years from now. You get what I'm saying? We
Oh,
want the food particles to move through. Yeah, we want something because that colon may have uh food particles at different stages of digestion in it. Okay. So I'd like to know that what I ate yesterday is no longer in my body.
you, you
Okay.
just you just said something, and I never really thought about something that I ate being in my body for 10 years, for
Mm-hmm.
5 years, for 1
Mm-hmm.
year even.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
Shit,
just
even
don't.
a week.
Yeah, hello. even a week, but
Mhm.
that is our reality. But just when you just said it, I was thinking, what? No, what?
Mhm.
That can't possibly be good. That
Right.
can't possibly. Oh my goodness. So okay, say that.
Well, it becomes toxic. It becomes rancid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Different foods creates different types of toxicity.
Mm,
Shoot, even
mm-hmm.
vegetables can become pretty toxic. It's like if you have some cucumbers or some carrots or something in your refrigerator for too long, you didn't juice it like you thought you would. It becomes slimy. It becomes moldy. That's the same thing that can
Right.
happen in the gut if it stays in there too long. And
That
then
makes
guess
sense.
what? That toxic waste is recycled by the bloodstream. The liver gotta re-detoxify the crap that's in your colon because it finds its way back into the bloodstream. So what you want to do is have a great what we call transit time from what you
Mm,
eat to when you evacuate it.
mm. What is the suggested transit time, or what is a healthy transit time? I guess I should ask. What would you say?
If you Google it, there's going to be different answers, especially coming from different physicians and
Sure.
people who are trained in medical school for all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you what I feel for me, what makes me feel healthy, and what makes me feel energetic, transit time wise.
Okay.
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 So I truly do think about what I eat. Listen, let me tell you, I will eat a bag of Doritos every now and then. I shouldn't, but my point being, I do really focus on what I put into my mouth. When is it going to come out of me?
Mm-hmm.
If I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I ate something crazy that day, I might take a colon cleanser to make sure that it comes out of me the next day. But for the most part, what I eat, I know is coming out of me the next day because I chewed it really, really good.
Okay.
Okay. Broke it down to almost like baby food in my mouth. And I made sure it was a type of foods that's more likely to leave me quicker. In other words, your vegetables. I try to eat as much raw vegetables and maybe slightly cooked, like sauteed, um, grains, nuts and
Mm-hmm.
seeds. Probably not into the grains as much as some, but nuts and seeds. I swear, I have pumpkin seeds on every salad, and I have lemon juice and lime juice on everything. So when I'm eating this food
Mm.
that I eat at night, I know the next morning before my workout, I'm pooping it out.
You just said
That's
something.
what makes me feel energetic. When I saying that, it makes me energetic to know I've had a full bowel movement.
Yes, and I can agree, but I want to ask you,
Mhm.
as a colon hydrotherapist, what do you
Mhm.
use to keep your colon clean? What, like you were saying, like, some things that you might take.
Mhm. Okay. So first and primarily, I truly drink water.
Oh,
I
yes.
ain't gonna lie, I drink water. I I put a lot of my money in the water. I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie. Some people, I ain't got makeup. No, I
Yeah.
don't even get my
Mm-hmm.
nails done. Look at my nails. They just
Mm-hmm.
regular. I put my money into this here.
Mm-hmm.
So I drink a lot of water, and I do buy the good water. I like Icelandic water, and
Okay.
it's called Fuji water. I like that fresh water, that natural stuff. So I might pay a little more for that. And I don't like it when I run out. I try not to run out.
I,
I
I
go
know
to
how
Rite
that
Aid. I
is.
go wherever I gotta go. It stays on my bed. I keep it right near my bed. So the moment I wake up in the morning, I'm drinking it.
So
If
what
I
do you think
wake up,
about the alkaline waters?
that too,
They're
I
helpful
get that
too.
too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the waters I'm talking about has a high pH naturally. That
Okay.
Icelandic water coming straight from those mountains. The Iceland ain't nothing but
Mm-hmm.
fresh waters. The minerals, the natural minerals. Um, so I'm drinking
Mm.
that first thing. If I go to sleep at night without having drank enough water, I can feel it when I wake up. Oh, I'm parched.
Right.
So water probably my first and primary thing that I do. And so water keeps your colon hydrated because your colon naturally absorbs water or fluids
Mm-hmm.
and puts it into your bloodstream. So if it has nothing to put, it's absorbing whether you like it or not. So
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
it's absorbing and there's no water in there, then guess what it's doing? Drying it out. So that's like a
Mm-hmm.
dog pooped outside, and this hot out, 98 degrees, and now it's dry.
Right.
And what happens when that poop in your colon dries out, your muscles can't push it through.
Yeah, we feel it.
Now it's stuck in your colon and you're constipated.
Yeah, we
You
definitely
get it
feel a
now?
difference. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I want, before we continue that conversation, because I want
Mm-hmm.
to definitely do so. And I have some more questions. But
Mm-hmm.
family, if you've just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Stay with us because we're talking with Cheryl Tyler of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. And we're talking about how to maintain a healthy lifestyle, how to start one, but how to maintain it as well. So stay with us because we'll be right back.
What's up, y'all? It's Janae Latrice
and Kayla J. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. for
Crosswords, sharing conversations across generations, right here on WURD.
Progressive Black Talk Media.
We'll see you there.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different away towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Hey, still shopping for the new year? Or did you receive a gift card for the holidays? Either way, Word Radio's got you covered. Visit wordradio.com and shop at the Word Virtual Marketplace. You can support local, small, black-owned businesses through the marketplace and shop today. Visit wordradio.com/marketplace or wordworks.com/marketplace. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I am reminding you, family members, that you can email us. Send us comments, questions, topics that you'd like us to discuss, or you can even just say hello. But you can do so by emailing us at loveandlife@wurdradio.com. Did you get that? That's loveandlife@wurdradio.com. And there it is right there on your screen for those of you who can see us on our socials. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. But we are joined tonight by our guest, none other than Ms. Cheryl Tyler of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. And we've been talking about just some of the services, quite honestly, that Infinity Health and Wellness Center offers. We've been delving deep into colon hydrotherapy, if you will. I have so many questions, and I want to make sure that I get a good amount of them in if I can. But I interrupted you when you were talking about the services that you all provided. I stopped you when you were talking about infrared sauna because that is of so much interest to me.
Right.
But I definitely would like for you to share with us all of the services that you provide and also the products, because you guys have some wonderful products there too.
Absolutely. Because it's like we do focus on the digestive system. So all of the products that we have is what keeps the digestive system healthy and functioning. And when you have a very functioning digestive system, things are flowing like they're supposed to, chances are you go through your day a little more spirited. I mean, life may be crazy at any given moment, but you're still a little bit more spirited because your digestive system is functioning right. So the products that we carry support the digestive system. Since we don't have teeth in our gut, we have to make sure that we inform people that enzymes and probiotics, which are two supplements that we carry, are a part of their daily supplement routine.
Okay.
Enzymes and probiotics help the body to absorb nutrients, and it helps the body to break down nutrients from the foods that we eat, and it keeps the gas and the bloating down, and it helps the food particles have a natural transit time. The top selling product, however, that we carry is one of the things you mentioned earlier. You said, well, what do you do to keep your colon clean? Well, one of the things I do, of course, is drink plenty of water. The other thing, of course, is my nutrition, and I'll come to that. But we have a product that is a hot seller, It's a oxygenated magnesium. It's a very small amount of magnesium that transports oxygen into your digestive system. So when you take this supplement, the product is called Mag07, MAG short for magnesium 07. We've been
Okay.
selling it now for about 13 years. And it puts oxygen into your digestive system. That oxygen cleans the mucus buildup from the tube that we call a digestive system.
Mm.
It cleans the mucus from the entire digestive tract, including the colon. But what it does for the person, what they feel is, boy, it gives you a very productive bowel movement. You never have to strain when you're sitting on the toilet. You don't have to sit there for a long time reading a paper. And it gives you such a successful, productive bowel movement. It makes you feel like you done pooped out everything you ate the day before. The wonderful thing about this product is because it's not an herb and
Okay.
it's not a chemical laxative, so it doesn't strip your digestive system. In fact, it supports it. It allows the friendly, good bacteria to thrive and stay alive longer in your gut. And it's safe to take all year long.
Okay. So many questions. How does it contain enzymes or probiotics? And how often would you suggest taking it?
So these three different products, the Mag07 is strictly just a colon cleanser. It does
Okay.
not contain enzymes. It does not contain probiotics.
Okay.
You wouldn't even take them at the same time because Mag07 is going to wipe out whatever's in its path. So
Okay.
most people take the Mag07 at their bedtime so that they can then wake up the next day with a nice productive movement and then go on about their day.
Oh,
Some people take theirs daily like a vitamin. They might take one every day. Somebody else might take two every other day. Somebody else might take four or five. It just depends on their system.
so it's not intrusive like like a laxative can be. Like if you were to take it, you wouldn't be at home situated all day. Okay. It's not like
That's
Magno
what
7.
people love about it. That's what people love
Ah,
about the Mag07, is that it doesn't give you the diarrhea effect, no
mm-hmm,
runs, and no
mm-hmm.
cramping.
This sounds like a
And
miracle. Wait,
let me tell you,
wait a minute.
let me
Why
tell
am I
you,
just hearing about this? Wait.
you know that
And I walked
R&B,
by it.
you know the R&B singer Kiki Wyatt.
Yes.
Okay, so
Love
she's hooked
Kiki.
on it. I sent her some through my daughters. My daughter's one of her best friends, and and she's even taken them during her pregnancies. I think like the last four pregnancies. And
Really?
she takes them. Yeah, she takes them. Yeah, and you could take them. They
Okay.
take them even when they're breastfeeding. And yeah,
Miss,
the Mag07.
okay, Miss
Men take
Cheryl.
it. Women. It doesn't matter if male, women, and it's great for the whole family.
I was
Yep.
just about to ask. Okay, so
Mhm.
everybody can take it.
Yep.
Well, with regard to any chronic illnesses, is
Let
there
me tell
anyone?
you. Girl, let me tell you, I have people I have people who are cancer patients who take them. We got people who are diabetics who take them. I got people with high blood pressure who take them. Um
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
we got Lyme's disease clients, MS clients. Um
How about
yeah,
lupus? Any lupus
that too
patients?
because that's in the same family of MS.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Autoimmune, any the autoimmune disease family.
I
Now
wanted to,
listen,
ask specifically.
I always suggest that people consult their healthcare provider
Sure, sure.
before taking
Absolutely.
anything. But I've never once seen anybody come back to me in all these years and say, "But my doctor said no," or
Oh
da da
my
da da. Da."
Miss
So I've
Cheryl.
yeah, hmm
Listen, okay,
yeah.
family, if you have just
I don't
tuned
know why they
in,
don't.
you are listening to Love and Life on
Hmm
WURD,
hmm
Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking about living a healthy lifestyle. We are talking about cleansing our colons. We're talking about so much more than that. But when we come back, I have so many other questions, so many more
hmm
questions. So how about you stay with us because I'm sure you're going to want to hear what Miss Cheryl has to share when we come back. So stay tight, okay? We'll be right back.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your WURD membership today at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and get my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you waste planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media. Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I want to remind you once again that you can email us here at Love and Life. You can email us anytime you please. You can do so by emailing loveandlife@wurdradio.com. See, I spelled that out, but it's loveandlife@wordradio.com. So if you're just joining us, I want to make you aware that we are talking with colon hydrotherapist and owner of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. I must say, I am a client, so I love going to Infinity Health and Wellness Center, which is why I'm ecstatic that Miss Cheryl, Miss Tyler has graciously accommodated us this evening. But I want to I'm going to stop talking so much because I want you to share some more information. But I do have a few questions, a few that I think some of our family members just might want to know. What is the can anyone have a colonic? How about that? Can anyone have a colonic?
So there are some uh, contraindications. So if you have colon cancer, you
Okay.
should not colonic. Unless you consult your physician and they say go do that. If you have kidney issues, like or on dialysis, you should not colonic. If you are pregnant, unless your healthcare provider tells you to come in, you should not colonic. Have I seen pregnant women colonic? Yes, I have. But if they call us and ask us, we typically suggest see your healthcare provider first, because we typically won't. Not that we know of any specific danger, but we, when the woman is pregnant, we like to make doubly sure.
Absolutely.
So those are the main reasons. Age limits and so forth. Typically our clients are over 18, of course. I think the oldest client we've ever had was in his early 90s.
Wow.
The youngest we've ever had was we had a 6-year-old, but his father, he would bring him in because he had some specific issues.
Okay.
And we took him to a chiropractor, and he brought him to us. These were two of the therapies that he needed his son, because he was going through some physical issues. He had some sort of ailment.
Okay.
And that little boy was more mature than some of the grown folks that get in there, But for the most part, our clients are typically over 18. Probably the average age is anywhere from 20-something to 60-something.
So how often should an individual have a colonic?
We typically suggest monthly or quarterly.
Okay.
And that, guess what? That's for a healthy person who has no issues and they want to keep it that way,
Okay.
Because healthy people try to do healthy things to maintain that healthiness,
One thing I want to add to that, because I did not know when a cousin of mine first suggested to me, just in conversation. He was saying, you like you like to be healthy, you like trying, different things to maintain your health, and he suggested it to me. And I will say, the first time I bought 3 sessions.
Yeah.
And well, he suggested that I do so. So I said, okay, I don't know what to expect. I'm going to buy these 3 sessions. And I must say that I am glad that I did, to start the process. I was so glad that I did, because I had, number one, I had no idea what to expect, but number two, I didn't know how many sessions would be necessary. And so I'm telling you, family members, anybody that is listening, if you've never had a colonic and you're interested, I'm sharing this, I'm passing it forward, as my cousin said to me, because I had no idea there was so much waste.
Yeah.
Just so much waste.
You felt it coming.
Yes. And you just don't think that there is, but of course there is, because I wasn't doing, when I started the journey, I wasn't doing anything prior to having colonics to make sure that, I was cleansing properly. But so I know some people are wondering, if there are side effects to colon cleansing.
I think there's side effects to everything that we do and anything that we put in our body.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like I've been doing this for 20 something years. I've never seen anyone get hurt.
Okay.
I've never seen it, and we've been at this location now for the past 14 years. We've just never seen anyone have an issue, get hurt from a colonic. So with that said, I think one of the biggest things people want to know is, will I be pooping on myself all day? Will I have the runs? Do I have to put on a diaper? Those are the biggest things. Can I go do things after a session? Do I need to stay home after a session? Typically, people go about their day as normal after a session.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get people calling me back saying, I had the runs and for da da da. Whatever. Typically, like for instance, since we open so early, we get started like 6:30 in the morning. We might have a client come at 7 a.m. in a business suit and they colonic and they get dressed and they go downtown to their lawyer's job. Or I've had University of Penn grad students Uber over in colonic and then Uber right back to class. I got a hairstylist. She puts her client under the hair dryer. She comes to colonics and then she goes right back to her own client.
Mm-hmm.
So typically people go about their day. I've had people go on flights or go to boot camp after colonic.
Mm-hmm.
So people typically do go about their day as normal. There's usually nothing that they have issues with after. You mentioned 3 sessions. When a person colonics for the first time, or if it's been a while since they have cleansed, we do suggest that they do at least 3 sessions within the first 7 to 10 days, simply to maximize how far the water travels through the colon, since the colon is so long. And listen, this is a slow river, not a fire hydrant going through you. And so, and the less meals you have between your sessions, the further the water can travel. So somebody might do 3 sessions 3 days in a row, or someone else might space theirs out based on when they get paid. Now, and when I mention monthly sessions, again, that's for the average healthy person with a healthy digestive system. But there's a lot of people who aren't healthy. They might come in much more than that. So we get some clients who come in weekly, like right now, this time of the year, January, February, March, etc., is the high weight loss time of the year. This is also the high detox time of the year. So we got a lot of clients who are doing like 12 sessions in 12 weeks or 20 sessions in 20 weeks. Because what that's doing for them is when you keep your colon clean, like really, really keep it clean, like with colonics, it helps the body's natural metabolism speed up. It helps the body store less fat. One of the main things that people see is the flattening of the belly area when they colonic. And I like to say, look, your colon ain't in your elbow, it's in your waistline. Right. And so when you clean it out, or when you keep it clean, naturally it's going to shrink. So what else shrinks? That belly area. So that's some of the things that people see immediately. And so when they continuously clean their colon, they see those results. Now, I'm by no means suggesting that everyone run and do that. I'm saying everyone comes into our office for different reasons. They might even come in again. It might be 5 girls deep, and all 5 of them got different reasons and different results. So talk to us specifically, and we can let you know what we've experienced that might be great for what your goals are.
So that leads me to my next 2 questions, actually. So the one question I have is, do you do consultations? And the other question is, what ratio of clientele do you service with regard to males and females?
Good question. Yes, we do consultations. Yeah, definitely. And guess what? My consultations are free because I can do it over the phone with you, or we can do it face to face. Okay. Now, the other thing, as far as ratios, we get a lot of men. We do. We mostly women though. So I would say the ratio is about 75% female and about 25% male. And I think that's quite a bit of male because we get a lot of people come through there. Now we get men anywhere. I got athletes, I got top athletes coming there. I really do. I got some professional athletes coming there, especially boxers because they got to lose weight really fast and they need to be agile. I got some basketball players who come in. So I got the athlete. Oh, sometimes we get the bodybuilders. They got an event coming up, and they got to get some of that stuff out of their system. But I also get the regular guy. I get guys in suits. I get police officers, firefighters. I
Mm-hmm.
get lots of male business owners. I get big and small.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the recurring themes I do see is men get those bellies. They get those big round bellies, and those big round bellies be in most cases it's colon. And the reason why I know, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why I know it's colon is because the men who come in there with those big bellies, they stick with it. And they come in every week like clockwork. Some of them be working 2 and 3 jobs. They hustling. They out there doing what they do for a living, for feed their family. They come in there every week fighting to get in because they busy,
Right.
And man, they wives be like, wow, my belly went down, you know. And the reason why I know it's the colon hydrotherapy is because when life happens and they stop coming in because the jobs or the family, this didn't happen, the bellies get up there again,
Right.
and then it go down again when they start coming in again. It has a lot to do, of course. Again, I go back to lifestyle and what we're eating, what we're putting into our system, lack of exercise or things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going to use colon hydrotherapy as a remedy, it works and it brings those bellies in. And it's a noticeable difference. And the women in their lives be the first to tell them. So we do get a lot of men, but for sure, more female than men. And
Family.
female, all walks of life too. No particular race, backgrounds. I mean, anywhere from lawyers to just the girl down the street, everybody.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad you said that, family. If you're interested, you heard what Miss Cheryl just said. She said everybody, anybody, she said you can also call her though for a consultation. She said you can come in or you can call her. And you can do so by dialing 267-338-9455. You can call
They can
Infinity Health
text
and
that
Wellness
number too.
Center. You hear that? You can call or text 267-338-9455. It's right there on your screen for those of you who are watching us. And for those of you who are listening, 267-338-9455. And you can ask for Miss Cheryl, and she will point you in the right direction. If you're just tuning in, though, you should know that you're listening to Love and Life on WURD. You know exactly where we are. WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We've been talking about colon hydrotherapy. Let me say that correctly. So how do you become a colon hydrotherapist? What do you have to do what steps do you have to take?
So we're governed by a entity called International Association of Colon Therapists. So it's i-act.org. So i-act.org. And then you follow the instructions on what they say. So you do have to take some training.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have, you work under perhaps another therapist for a certain number of hours and so forth like that. But you definitely do not need a medical background. I think mostly what you need is a compassion. I mean, in addition to the schooling, of course.
Absolutely.
But the money it takes to, you got to pay for it. It costs a lot of, it costs a lot of money, depending on the circumstances, how much you got. But yeah, you got to pay for it, the training and so forth, because it costs.
Sure.
But you also, I think, have to have a drive and a compassion, and it's not easy because you are dealing with poop.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with lots and lots of poop, and then you're dealing with people,
mm-hmm.
And their emotions, and their scaredness and their experiences. You're dealing with that. So it's not as easy as, perhaps. I know when people come in, maybe we might make it look easy, but
You
it's not.
do. You really do. And you put
Mhm.
us at ease. Well, so
Mhm.
can you help by explaining to our family members who are unaware what the
Mhm.
process is when they come in for a
Mhm.
colonic?
Absolutely. Okay, so when you come into our center, we'll take you into one of our private colonic rooms
Mhm.
where you'll get undressed just from the waist down, including your shoes. You may keep on your socks and your sweatshirt or your shirt. And then you're going to be seated on a colonic table. The colonic table is about the height of an average bed. And then
Mhm.
you simply be seated on a table. And while you're still seated, you actually slide your bum down onto a rectal nozzle. The rectal nozzle is thinner than a number two pencil. It's thinner than a drinking straw. And you only have to insert it about the length of a pinky finger. And you lie on your back, cover your body with a drape sheet, and then you start your water flow. Again, the water is a very gentle flow. I equate it to a slow river, not a fire hydrant. But when you turn on your water, you'll feel that water go into your bum. It's going to ultimately make you feel like you have to poop. Weird and awkward as heck because we're not used to pooping while we're lying down. It's going to make you feel like you're losing control of your bowels or like you're pooping on yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, again, weird and awkward as heck. And yes, you are going to feel water and poop on your butt. You're going to be like, ooh, this is icky. But I always like to say it's more icky when it's sitting inside your gut than it is sitting outside your butt. Okay, because at the end of your session, you're gonna be able to rinse off anyway. You rinse stuff off at the end of your session and you feel nice and refreshed. So while you're laying on your back and you feel that water going through your bum and you hold that water in, you tighten your butt muscles like you do when you're at the restroom, the line is too long, you can't get in, so you hold it at. You tighten your butt muscles, you hold that water in. When you can no longer hold that water in, then you push the same way you push when you're sitting on a toilet with a bowel movement. Again, keeping in mind you're on your back the whole time and your butt is perched against an opening. So when you push, that water and poops around the nozzle, down your butt cheeks, and straight into the basin that your behind is perched against. One of the biggest questions is, does it hurt? You know, I never heard anyone describe it as painful. Some people, however, get cramps that feel a little bit like diarrhea. Some women
Oh,
think it feels like period cramps. Now, there are some people who don't cramp at all. They look at me like, what's a cramp? What's she talking about?
yeah. I've
And you're
never
like,
had
you
that
didn't even cramp
experience.
up, right? Okay,
No.
so consider yourself blessed in that category. Because keep in mind, the colon is a muscle, sort of like the uterus. It's a muscle. It contracts.
Hmm.
So when the water is going into it gently, it then the water, it's all the water is doing. It's just water. There's no solutions. When the water is going into your colon, it's a continuous flow. So it continuously flows through that 5 to 6 feet of colon that we have. It's softening the waste that's in its path.
Mm.
That soft waste will then be projected out of the butthole with the colon muscles. The colon muscles will push the poop out. The poop will push around the nozzle because now that poop is real soft. It's going to push around the nozzle while the nozzle continuously delivers water into the colon. Now, while the person is colonicking, they're usually doing what we're doing on the phone
Mhm.
talking.
Mhm.
They might be on the phone scrolling through social media. I have people have their laptops and iPads in with them and they're working while they're colonicking.
Yeah.
Most of the first timers, so they just try to lay there and try to figure out what's going on. This is
Right.
crazy. What is this? What is that coming out of me?
That's
Which
so
by the
true.
right. And by the way, what happens in our head affects the gut. So when people come in, I try to have them watch our videos on our website first before they even come into the door because that'll help them familiarize themselves with the process.
Mhm.
Because when they come in nervous and uptight and scared, those are emotions that affect the gut. So then the gut tightens up and clamps up. Now they just don't have the most productive first session. So I try to get people to relax as much
Mm.
as possible so your first session will be as productive as it should.
That makes so much sense.
They rinse that poop off at the end of the session. And you sit up, you turn off your water, you sit up and you push your strain and get that water out of your bum, the rest of it out. You rinse yourself off, you rinse that poop off of you, and you dry off, you get off the table, you get dressed, and you go about your day.
When I tell you, I wish I had called you before my absolute first session. I mean,
Yeah.
my cousin, he was helpful in explaining, but the way you just explained it and is exactly the way it happens. But
Right.
it is a pleasant experience. I know it is for me. Family members, if you are just joining us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're talking about health and wellness with Cheryl Tyler of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. When we come back, I'm going to ask Cheryl to provide the website, because I know, family members, those of you that have been paying attention and listening all along, I know you're waiting to hear that. And we've not said it. We've shared it on the screen, but we've not said it. So stay with us because we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Hey there, family members. Welcome back. You are tuned into Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Hey, family, we know that you're there on our socials. We know that you are there, and we're happy that you're there, hanging with us in this midnight hour. So we've been talking with none other than Cheryl Tyler, who is the owner of Infinity Health and Wellness Center. She is a colon hydrotherapist. And before the break, I was saying that we showed those of you who are watching what the what the website is. But I didn't ask her to say it. And I know you want to know, so I'm so sorry. Can you please tell us the website?
Sure. It's infinityhealthwellness.com. So the word infinityhealthwellness.com. There it is.
infinityhealthwellness.com. I must say, I've been, I don't know how many times, I would like to go more often than I do for my my therapy sessions. I'll call them my colon therapy because it is a therapy session for my colon. But I'm going to come to pick up some Mag 07, you said? Oh,
Right.
Mag 07. I am now interested in that. I had no idea. Family, let me tell y'all how I go in. I have my blinders on. I go
Right.
into my room. I
Yes,
have
you
my
do.
session,
Yes.
and then I leave. All right, I'll see you all the next time. But I know that there are products. I know you have
Yeah.
products there. But because I have my blinders on and I go in and I come out, I have missed. And I'm so mad that I have, because I could have, been adding to my routine, of trying to live and maintain a healthy lifestyle. So let me ask you this. What, if anything, would you like to share that we have not touched upon about colon hydrotherapy?
So I want to embrace the idea of keeping the digestive system clean naturally, whether you get colonics or not, because I really am a proponent of nutrition, and that's one of the things we do teach at Infinity Health and Wellness. So, for instance, when people do consultations with us, we do go over nutrition, and I use the word nutrition as opposed to diet. Now, some people think that being vegan that's like the big thing now, but sometimes I feel like some people have hijacked that word and it's become like bullyish. Like, then you got some people who are vegetarian, some people are keto. You got different when to eat intermittent fast and things like that, or different products and so forth. So what I like for people to do when they focus on nutrition is, regardless of what you eat or what category you put yourself in, pescatarian, you eat fish, or you eat chicken, or you eat any kind of meats, or you eat only vegetables, or you eat whatever it is. Two things I'd like for people to focus on: eating whole foods. Okay, real food that
Okay.
is not processed. So whether it's an animal or whether it was grown in the ground, a vegetable, a fruit, nut, seed,
Sure.
whatever, eat whole foods that is as much untouched by a factory as possible. Okay, so that's one
Mm.
thing. So that means the snacks is out. Packaged foods is out. Try to stick with as natural as possible. In fact, if you can, just shop at a real farmer's market. So that would be the primary thing that will help keep the digestive system clean and flowing properly. The other thing is a lot of people have picked up on this lately is what they consider intermittent fasting. But even if we don't give it a name, let's just say reduce the hours that you allow your body to eat, or excuse me, allow yourself to eat,
Mm-hmm.
so that your liver, okay, which is part of the digestive system, so that your liver can fully process what you ate. The liver
Mm.
needs at least a good 12 hours to the digestive system, but let's focus on the liver. It needs at least a good 12 hours to really do its job.
Okay.
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 But what we do is we pack on the food
We
for
do.
darn near 24 hours. So let's try to narrow that window. So intermittent fasting, they'll call it 12 on, 12 off. So they'll say for 12 hours, including your sleep time. So a good example, let's say from 8 a.m. at night to 8 a.m. in the morning, you do not eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably good for a lot of people. Most people stop eating before 8 anyway. But from 8
Mm-hmm.
a.m. at night to 8 a.m. in the morning, don't eat anything. Then you open the door, open a window from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. you can eat. So whatever you decide to eat, make it as whole as possible. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you reduce those hours of your eating time even further than 12 hours, you give your body you make your life just healthier. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
put it
Mm-hmm.
that way. I'm talking longevity healthy. So try to narrow that window down to even less than 12 hours. Some people may narrow it down to 8 hours a day they allow themselves to eat. Let's say, for example, from 12 noon to 8 p.m. I can eat. I
Okay.
use those hours for simplicity's sake. Um, some people narrow it down to 4 hours. Let's say from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. they will allow themselves to eat, or from 12 noon to 4 p.m. they allow themselves to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have only one meal per day, which truly gives the body a chance to recover from the foods that you've eaten. So that's one of the things I would suggest with regard to nutrition and keeping the body as healthy as possible and as youthful as possible.
That's where drinking that water comes in, isn't it?
That part. And the
Yeah.
water, if you can include water, these are the things that help you have a productive bowel movement, even if you don't take any supplements or anything. Number one, water. That's going
Mm.
to keep your colon hydrated, okay, so that the poop won't get hard and slow down the transit time. Number two, fiber, because fiber will bulk up the stools. The naturalist way to get fiber is eating plants. Plants being grain,
Mm.
nuts, seeds, fruits, legumes, and vegetables, of course. All as natural as possible. You can also take fiber supplements, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So fiber will bulk the stools, water will keep the stools hydrated. The other thing is oils, okay? Olive oil, avocado oil, avocados, anything, coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed oil, barrage oil, all oils you can name, the good ones, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can take them in a tablespoon forms. You can cook with it. You can put it on your salad, whatever. What it does is it keeps the digestive system slippery. It helps the food
Ah.
particles slide through, okay?
Okay.
Uh, the other thing you have to do is use your teeth. You have to chew your food almost to as like baby food because we have no teeth in our stomach. We have no teeth in our small or large intestine. So you have to chew your food.
Mm.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think those are the main things. And so those are the things that is going to help you have better the last thing, that's what I don't know what's more exercise, because
Mm.
exercise will keep your colon strong. It's a muscle. It's going to help keep the digestive system flowing better. Of course, it keeps, your bloodstream flowing better. So
Sure.
exercise. Not saying you have to be huffing and puffing, running 18 miles a day, but you have to get some exercise in. Keep the gut muscles tight to keep the gut muscles strong.
Can you tell us once again where you're located, number one, and what's the best way to book an appointment?
Sure enough, directly on the website, infinityhealthwellness.com. They can actually book an appointment. We are here 7 days a week. We typically get started at like 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. Take our last clients at 6:30 p.m. And on the weekends, we take our last clients at 4 p.m. And infinityhealthwellness.com, you can book directly on the site. And there's a lot of information on the site. We try to keep it as simplistic as possible. But you can also call or text the phone number, which is 267-338-9455. We are located 3502 Scotts Lane, Scotts Lane. That is right near, and 19129 is a zip. It's considered East Falls, but it's right at the tip of North Philly because it's right at the intersection of Ridge and Allegheny. So you're close to the highway exit off of Highway 1 and 676. We're about 2 miles north of the zoo, 3 miles north of the Philadelphia Art Museum, and we're just across the bridge from City Avenue.
So see that? Easily accessible. So are you guys on social media as well?
Indeed. Infinity Health and Wellness on Facebook, Infinity_Health on Instagram.
Okay, see,
I'm
didn't
not
know
on
that.
TikTok though.
Neither am I. Let me tell you, I don't think I'm ready for TikTok. I have an account because I like to see some of the videos.
Yeah.
But I haven't created one. But then anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. So let me ask you, and you said there's information on the site, which I do know. So there's a ton of information about colonics. Is it, I know you addressed this earlier, but for our family members who are just joining us, is it necessary to receive permission from a doctor first?
It is absolutely not. No, they definitely don't have to have a doctor's prescription, and we're not affiliated with any medical association. However, if a person is unsure about their wellness enough to get a colonic, they should definitely consult their healthcare provider first. Like if they have any health issues whatsoever, they should consult the healthcare provider first.
Sure. So am I able to use health insurance to get a colonic? I'm sure that's a popular question.
Absolutely. Great question. So we're not involved with health insurance. However, we do accept credit, debit, and cash. We also accept what's considered flexible spending. It's also called FSA. So it's a card that people can use for their co-pays and dentist visits and so forth like that. All of our products and services are accepted with the flexible spending card.
I love this. Okay, well, so family members, as you know, first of all, you're listening or tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking about maintaining health. We're talking about starting a journey, to better health, if you will. And we're talking about how we can do so by getting a colonic. Now, yes, I do. I get colonics. So, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So if anybody wants to ask me any questions personally, feel free. You can do so by emailing me at loveandlife@wurdradio.com, which is wordradio.com, loveandlife@wordradio.com. Or you can call Miss Cheryl if you just want to have your own one-on-one and ask her personally. Because she said she gives consultations.
Absolutely.
Which she does. I know that she does do so. And you can call her at 267-338-9455. But there's so much that we've been talking about with colonics. We are going to take a break in a moment. But before we do, I keep saying I want to ask you about some of the other products that you have at the center. And I know every time you get started on something, I stop you. And family, I'm so sorry about that because there's so much, when she says something, she gives us a nugget and then I want to break that nugget down because I know you all have more questions too. But before we go to break, how about that? Are there any specific steps we should take before receiving a colonic? I couldn't get that out. Did you see that?
Excellent question as well. Honestly, no, not necessarily. You literally can come in as you are, and I say that with the utmost sincerity. You could be walking down the street and see our sign, and oh, let me try that. With that said, however, and you still have a successful colonic session. However, if you do schedule and you are preparing to come in, it's a good idea to drink plenty of water because the more the colon is hydrated, and the softer the stools. Okay, so the softer the stools, the less likely you are to have cramping while you're colonicking. Plus, it just makes it easier for it to come out. The other thing, and last step that we would suggest is maybe try not to eat any food for about 2 hours prior to your session because some people, not all, less than 1% of our clients may get nauseous while they're colonicking and they may have to throw up. So just try not to eat any food for about 2 hours prior to your session. There's no special food that you have to eat, no special colors you have to eat, no special fasting you got to do for days at a time. You can do all those things at your discretion.
But you don't.
There's not a prerequisite. You don't have to.
Family, stay with us. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Hey family, I'm Carol Riddick.
And I'm Donavan West, and we're the hosts of Love and Life, a new show about,
well, love and life.
This show is an informative, entertaining, and refreshing take on the hard conversations about love and life.
Each day, we'll provide real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual, and committed relationships.
These late night conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness.
So join us Sunday night through Thursday night at midnight on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Independent Black Media.
Hey family, welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're in the final stretch of tonight's program, OMG. I hope you feel like you've gotten, a few nuggets that you were able to put in your back pocket about colonics and colon hydrotherapy. And I hope you're excited. Well, maybe not excited, but I hope you're just as interested, if not more, as I am in infrared sauna. Because I'm telling you right now, I want a session. I'm going to have to book my session, but I'm definitely coming in. I don't know if I am ready. I talked to you about hot flashes. I said, I don't know if I'm ready, but but I'm coming. So let me ask you this. Do you have to be trained in order to administer colon hydrotherapy?
It's yeah. I would say yes. And I say it like that because, there are some places around who are not under the umbrella of International Association of Colon Therapists. But I am. We're it's fully certified and been so for the past 14 years. And I'm actually at nearly at the certification level as well. But are there people out there who do it in their basement or something or their house? Yeah, probably.
Sure.
But yeah, but again, I go back to, not only being educated, but having the right compassion and knowing what to do with folks.
Absolutely. I can attest to your compassion. I can definitely attest because I as family members, those of you that have been with us, the entire show, you've heard me talk about my sessions when I first came and I still come. I am still a client. So, which was why I was anxious to have you come and talk with us because I wanted everyone to see you, those that could do so, to see you and those of our family members who are listening, for you to hear Miss Cheryl talk about the process and talk about the center itself. And, I'm glad.
It may have relaxed some of their misgivings. And I say misgivings because people do have misinterpretations and misunderstandings about colon hydrotherapy. So that's why I try to encourage our clients to send us testimonials or, do reviews and so forth like that. Especially just about what colon hydrotherapy can do for them, because you never know whose life you might not change. Because I can talk to I'm blue in the face. It's not until they hear it from other people how it helped them, how it changed their lives, what it did for them. that people truly get it. And one of the main things that people should try to understand is the colon is such an important part of the body, and what we're forgetting too is the fact that the colon is colon cancer is a huge killer. You know, we talked earlier, black don't crack, but black damn sure strokes out. You know, black sure enough cancers out, and black heart attacks out. You know, so we need to continue to keep our lifestyles orderly, especially that digestive system, you know, to at least prevent, you know, people are, well, I'm afraid of putting something up my butt. You know, the thing is, the butthole is the most feared body part. People just afraid. They are afraid of their own body part. Listen, you'd be mad if you didn't have one.
How about that?
Mad if you didn't have one.
There is truth to that.
You be walking around with a Foley bag, and that Foley bag is smelly. It ain't nothing sexy about it. You know, we don't stand around. We don't, like, the colon is not sexy like the heart is sexy. As you know, Valentine's Day coming up. The brain is mystique. You know, everybody want a wonderful brain power. You know, even the lungs, they okay with that. You know. But as soon as you start talking about the colon, ooh, what? I remember I could barely even ever use the word colon cleanse on a sign, because I heard somebody, ooh, why they put that up there? Because it's the word colon. People think of it as something that's so bad. But again, if them polyps set in, or you get some blockage that causes your colon and half of it to be cut out, you know, take care of it. Don't be afraid of your own body part. And I ain't never had nothing up my butt. Oh, I ain't never had sex back there. I'm just telling you some of the misnomers that people, you know, when they come in. Look, well, you ain't about to have sex now. you you come in here to clean your body part. It's your organ. You have the right to be proud of it.
This is health.
Listen,
in wellness.
Right. You know, you're cleaning your own system out. But these are the fears that cause people to not come in. And these fears are perpetuated by their friends or by information on the internet and so forth. So, you know, and listen, I like to say, listen here, you because you come in based on your needs. You come in when you feeling, hey, I'm feeling a little crappy, let me go clean myself out. Now, some people, they'll wait on their friend. Oh, if they friend, okay, I got to cancel my appointment because my friend can't come with me today. She had to cancel her appointment. Okay, but is your friend going to be getting that chemo shot with you? Is your friend going to be in the hospital when they putting that chemo needle on you? No, you're going to be there by yourself. So you got to take care of yourself, whether your friend could show up to their cleansing appointment or not, whether your friend could show up to the gym or not. You got to take care of you.
It's also a personal experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I mean, I understand going to the location with someone, but family, it is a personal experience. And okay, so I want to say just thank you so much. Number one, for stopping by, for hanging out with me, for sharing so much personal information. I cannot thank you enough. Family, I hate to say it, but you know, that wraps up tonight's episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, family. You know I love your company, and your attention is always welcome and appreciated. I want to say thank you to the entire WURD family, to my alternating co-host, Donavan West, and a special thank you to our guest, colon hydrotherapist and owner of the Infinity Health and Wellness Center, Cheryl Tyler. Have a great night, have a great morning, and have a great rest of your day. Remember, everybody, we are all in this together. Remember that. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Make sure you join us at midnight for another edition of Love and Life on WURD. God bless you. If they
Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food history and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food History and Culture, every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio.
96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.